Hey guys, we are back to our Halloween project and I am going to add some more stuff on it. And we will learn things like how to import a sprite from the internet. So, we'll take an image from the internet and turn it into a sprite which is animated. For instance, if I want to make a spider sprite, I could just Google spider sprite, and this is like a whole bunch of things come up. And let's say I choose to save this image, I can right click and say save image as. I already saved it as spider, so as you see, spider.gif, but I could just call it spider here. So again, remember where you're saving it. And if I say save, it'll probably ask me to replace it. Okay, so I got the spider image, and then we go back to our Halloween project, and I'll say import a sprite from my desktop. Okay, I saved it on desktop, and I think I have the image here. So it's a spider.gif, and so let's see. We don't definitely want it like this. So go to costumes and crop a part of it which is absolutely not needed for our sprite. Now we have 9 possible costumes for this spider. So I don't want this white looking thing. If I come out of it, you see, I still see this here, right? Go back to costume and remove the white color. How do we do that? Paint color tool and click on this. That makes it transparent, and we can make it big if you want. Click here anywhere and it takes away all the color. Okay. Also, we see that the spider is so dark we can't really see it in this backdrop. So let me also get a new backdrop. So go here, and I think I know just the background in mind. So this one's nice. So we have two backdrops. First one is backdrop 2. I can call it night, and second one is forest. So let's say I will fix some things about the backdrops in this project. I'll say when program starts, which one do you want to see? The dark night, so we say night. And when something will happen, we switch the backdrop to the next. So depending on how you want to switch, there could be different events. For now, I will just go and get two arrow sprites, which will make my backdrop switch to the next backdrop. So this is the right arrow, and I can actually call it right. Okay, go back and duplicate this. Okay, right click and duplicate, or in some computers you will do shift and click. And now this one's called not right, this is left. So because it's a copy, I'm going to have to take it on this side and change its direction to left. You could also use this next costume, but let's just use the direction now. So I have right and I have left, and we can give code to the right saying when I click the sprite, switch backdrop to next backdrop, switch backdrop to next backdrop. Okay, and copy this code in the left arrow and say switch backdrop to previous backdrop. So let's just test it. Gone, back. Okay, to the spider, we will say it's not going to show in our first backdrop. We can anyway hide it. So say hide when the program starts. When the backdrop switches, so I can use this code when backdrop switches to forest, that's where it should show. But let's just keep that for now because we'll decide how we want to show it. So go back to spider sprite. We want to learn how to do it. So let's copy how many costumes I can possibly have. So you can copy that many times. Okay. You can keep on copying. I'll just show you how to do a first few. So make a window around it, whatever you don't need. Delete and delete and center the first one. Okay. Now I go to the paint bucket tool. Make it big. And you see, let's go to the next backdrop so I can see the spider properly. You see, I can see the white spots on it, so I can choose to hide them by clicking on those particular areas. As you can tell from the pixels, which one should be brown, gray, and which one should be white will kind of reflect here on our sprite. So now it looks just kind of fine. Let's go to 2, shrink again, and I can delete all of the rest very quickly. Only keep the 2. I'll just do like maybe 2, and then you can do the rest for yourself. Okay, so again, make it big, not so big. Our guys disappeared. Just do undo, 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 undo. So sometimes if you do the centering, this grid thing messed up, it might just disappear. So undoing is like a quick way of getting it back. Now I can delete my, so I want this sprite, so we can go back, delete, some more things showing up. Okay, now center it here, and we are okay. Go back to paint tool and make it big, and see how many white things are showing up. A lot of white pixels, right? We can even make it bigger, like 1600%. So let's go to color tool and see which pixels should be gray. Right, you can see it changing. Some are partially gray, but we still have a little bit of white color showing on the tail part, so that's gone. Right now in the front leg we have a little bit of more white to be taken care of. Much better. Click wherever you see white, and if you can differentiate between gray and white, that's fine too. Just click on all the empty spaces, and we seem to have filled it all up. So you can see how the spider looks from here to here, and we can keep on going to the next costume, but we will not do it in this. What I'm going to do is get a spider sprite imported from our local machine. Okay, so we click here. First we create a new sprite, and I will go here and get the spider sprite from my computer. I think it's called my spider. So, and say open, and now I have a sprite which is already done for me. Okay, let's check out all his costume, make it small, and we don't need this costume, we can remove it. So okay, so the spider, let's get rid of that spider since we don't need it anymore. Did it have a code? It did. So we can say when program starts, hide, when backdrop switches to forest to something, and delete this guy. So we have now this spider. You can just call it not spider 3, just spider. Alright, so this house now we can duplicate. I have another house. I go to the costume of another house and make it small and make a window around it. Okay, and maybe make it slightly bit different. So that's what it looks like. That's done. Center looks fine. So here, now we give code to this house. Also, if you want to make it have different colors, you can just go to the house, which is a duplicate house. I don't need a lot of this similar code, so we can start throwing away. When I receive close, maybe we can leave that one now. So when program starts, this house definitely is not showing, right? So we can say hide, switch costume to closed, and if you want it to position here, I also want to make it small. So say switch size, change size by, or set it to something, and say set size to 50%. Okay, so that's the size. Is it our wide house or the small house? That's our wide house. Okay, so set size to 50%. Okay, when program starts, hide. When I go here, this house should hide. So the sprite one, I'm going to call it house 2. Okay, so that there is no confusion, and sprite 3 is going to be called house 1. House 1 shows in the beginning, so we can say show when the program starts. So house 1 shows, no house 2. I go there and house 1 still shows, so we can take care of that first. When backdrop switches to forest, house 2 will hide, so it's not needed in the forest. Go to forest, no house 2, which one should show? No house 1, and we have to show house 2 in the forest. So we can say when backdrop switches to forest, which I can import from here by the way. I can say when backdrop switches to forest, go here, and instead of saying hide, we can say show, because house 2 is supposed to show. I know it's kind of confusing when I'm saying show, hide, but if we keep cleaning our code, kind of follow what I'm doing. When program starts, there's no house 2. When backdrop switches to forest, house 2 shows up. So far so good. Let's try it. Only house 1, go to forest, and house 2 shows up. We can decide the location of house 2, maybe change it here, maybe change it on this side. Okay, so let me put it here and fix this location. Let's go to motion and say when program starts, put it here and show it there. So test it again, go here, house is moving for some reason, so keep it aside. This is our position. Let's check the center of the house again, costume. So that is okay. If we fixed it here, what is the coordinate of the house? Motion negative 167, 131, which is not different from this, so it should work. When backdrop switches to, okay, so there is the problem. That was the coordinate copied from the other house, so now it should show up just fine. Go there, house is showing up. When I click on it, I don't want to do any of those other music that I was doing with the other house. Okay, when this house is clicked, I want to open the door and I want to show the spider. Okay, let's code the spider then. So we can say when I receive something, so who is sending the broadcast? House 2. So when house 2 is clicked, I'm going to make a broadcast and say spider show up. So make a new broadcast, say spider. And also when it's clicked, I want to open the door, so all I need to do is switch the costume to open. Okay, then broadcast spider, and we can switch to closed again. Copy, I don't need the extra code, I don't need this code. So it opens and close. I can also put a little wait 1 second in between. Okay, spider comes out and then I close the door. I'm not keeping this sound. If you do want to have a sound, we can put it in the spider. You can say when I receive the broadcast. So now the spider has to receive the broadcast called spider. It shows up. So it shows up, and then it will go through all its, how many costumes we have? 9. Goes through all the 9 costumes. So I can just put a repeat loop 9 times, or 8 times actually, starting from the first one and go to next costume. Okay, put a little wait block so that we can actually see the transition. So maybe 1/10 of a second. So let's see. When it receives spider, it has to show up, throws the next costume. You can even attach a movement to it while it's changing costume. So just like a cat moving its legs, the spider is going to move and change costume, right? You can test it in big screen. Program starts, black backdrop. Click on this house. Okay, the spider shows up and somewhere else. So ideally it should show up in this door when it opens, right? So what's missing is the coordinate. So I can say the spider appears here. Also the house seems to be a little bit down. I think we truncated the house by mistake or something. Or maybe, yeah, okay, the proportion is different. That's okay. So keep the house in the same place, and the spider is fine. We like the location. We just need to go to motion block and put it there. When I receive spider, it goes there and shows up and does all these things. Okay, big screen, start again, go, click on it, spider comes out, walks. Few problems. One is spider walking from behind the house. Secondly, it walks a little bit too less, so I can just repeat this loop 2 times, the whole animation. So 16, so 2 times the whole, all the costumes go through. And also we can get a sound. Okay, so let's get a sound. I need effects, maybe this one. Okay, rattling effect. So I say okay, Did the sound come? Rattle. Effects. Rattle. Okay. I don't need pops. We can remove it. Go to spider again when I receive spider. So we can do a parallel code. Throw all of this away and we just need a sound. Play sound. It might not match the duration of all the animation. We can work around that. Let's just test it. So let's make it big screen first. So click here, start the program. First house shows. Then I go to the next backdrop. Our house shows. Click on it. Spider comes out. Door closes. Looks fine. Now when I go back, I should go to the black backdrop. And who should show here? Our other house, not this house. So we need to fix that. Go to this house's code first and say when backdrop switches to, I copy this one because I just said hide it in the beginning, but I didn't say when the backdrop switches back to night, I don't show, I hide. Okay, so hide. And then same problem with our first house. When backdrop switches to night again, in the beginning it shows when the green flag, but it should also show when this happens, right? When I switch to night. So test again. Hopefully it should work. Go here and come back. Go here and come back. So that looks fine. This looks fine. This is our old code, so we don't need to worry about that. I can address it by typing some random thing and it should not respond, which is good. And click here, spider comes out. Okay. One more thing that I think we forgot to change was we talked about changing color for the house, for the second house, but we kind of forgot about it. I mean, I forgot about it. So here is the color house that we wanted to change color for. And if you want, you can actually just go to the code and say looks block, change color effect by 25 or 50 when the program starts. So you go and you see the house looking different. But let's say um, you were picky about colors and you wanted to choose your own colors. So I go to the costume of the house and I can pick my own color. So I go here and you remember we have two costumes, so I did actually change the color here. So I'm gonna go and change color for the top. And if you didn't want this color in the rest of the house, maybe we can do this and go here and do this, change the color for that. Oops, no, not that color. And which color do we want? If you want this color door, no. Okay, let's leave it at that. So open door, closed door, the color is changed. And so that color is at rest. Now one more thing I needed to touch on before we packed up for today was how the ghost appears. Okay, so let's just test it and see what happens. I click here, door opens, trick or treat, and I will say trick. The goal comes and it just sits there, right? So we're missing some code that makes it disappear at the end of that movement. So all we need to do is go to the script and looks, bring a hide code after the repeat loop is over, just attach a hide. Okay, same with the candy. I go there and attach a hide after it's done moving. So let's see what happens. Just test it one more time. Trick or treat, trick or treat. So ghost came, disappeared. Trick or treat, I'm gonna say treat. Candy came and disappeared. All right, so and you see there are different costumes for each one, right? So they are all random things showing up. Out of the three costumes, we don't know which one is going to show up at each time because we did the random costume here. Pick between one and costume 1 and 3. Pick between costume 1 and 3. And if you think they're moving too fast, I can also attach a little wait block here in between each movement, or actually let it move first time and then do 0.1. Okay, you can do same thing for the other one too, but I think we are done for today. So if you have question or comment or suggestion, here's my email again. All right, techupkid@gmail.com, or you can even write as a comment under the video. I really appreciate if you took time to either send me a question or suggestion, any kind of feedback. Okay, so it's time to pack up. You guys have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.